danger.
KX News is your local election headquarters, and as today marks 131 years since the North Dakota Constitution was completed, efforts to amend it are still hotly debated. Reporter Maddie Biertemple has more on the election-altering ballot measure that's headed to court this week.
Conservative group Brighter Future Alliance is taking Secretary of State Al Jaeger to court over Measure 3.
They broke the law when they did their signature gathering.
The group claims that North Dakota Voters First, which is sponsoring the measure, used deceptive tactics when gaining signatures and didn't include the text.
You must include that statutory language with the petition when you're getting your signatures, and in this case, they did not do that.
North Dakota Voters First says they did.
Yes, if they chose, the text was there and they could absolutely read the whole thing.
The dispute is headed to the state Supreme Court later this week. If it stays on the ballot and is passed, it would create open primaries, ranked choice voting, and changes in redistricting authority. Bismarck Mayor Steve Bakken opposes it.
Opening up the primary and doing it like California does, where it's percentage, the top 3 candidates make it to the ballot. No, that doesn't help the democratic process at all.
Opponents also say the measure's funding is suspect. Campaign finance records show a recent $600,000 contribution from a Texas-based advocacy group, Action Now Initiative, LLC, which funds redistricting measures nationwide.
Outside forces can dictate what we do in our own state relatively cheaply.
And while the measure has its opponents, supporters say it would give voters more voice, especially when it comes to redistricting, which is currently done by the legislature.
I would say North Dakota is gerrymandered.
Nicole Donaghy says giving redistricting authority to the Ethics Commission would address gerrymandering, or the drawing of legislative district lines to favor one party over another. In North Dakota, where Native Americans make up a majority population in just one district, supporters say the measure would give them more voting power.
In particular, Native American groups have their votes diluted in some of the districts.
Legal analyst for the Princeton Gerrymandering Project, Aaron Barden, says the measure would be good for underrepresented groups, and he says the outside funding is pretty normal.
Even if it's funded from an out-of-state organization, which is pretty common in initiative movements, the fact that it has such a substantial amount of support from within North Dakota kind of, I think, mitigates the concern there.
To Representative Ruth Buffalo, the first and only Democratic Native American woman in the State House, she says she's not sure the measure would fix everything, but something needs to be done.
I think that's a question we should be asking. Why not have Indian reservations as their own legislative district?
Reporting in Bismarck for KX News, Maddie Biertemple.
The state Supreme Court will hear oral arguments at 3 p.m. this Thursday.
Making sure everyone